there is Jasmine Bosco, the freshman, who is the key to Villanova's success in this one today. Norristown, Pennsylvania is 6 miles away from Finneran Pavilion. That's the hometown of Gino Auriemma, looking to add on to his victory of success, a record of success against the Wildcats. 44-12 all time against Villanova is UConn's head coach. So Villanova in the home whites, UConn in the road national flag blues. And before a sold-out crowd, we're underway in Philadelphia.
Important for UConn to execute in half-court offense. You know, that would be a weakness of theirs, being able to score in a half-court set, and critical for Villanova to keep them to a contested shot here and only one look.
5 passes there. And Sarah Strong with the first shot of the first 3 of the ballgame for UConn.
Not only is it important for Strong, the freshman, to get started early in her knock down her first 3, but it allows UConn to get into a little pressure. Villanova did a good job bringing the ball up the floor and not turning it over.
So Bosco wears number 11 for Villanova. This is Bona Power Cassidy, transfer after a couple of very successful years at Holy Cross. There's a home roll and the first points of the day for the Cats. 44-18, the all-time series between UConn and Villanova. This was a very difficult place for UConn to play as El Alfie misses the layup.
Those are the layups, we've talked about it, those are the layups El Alfie has to make.
There's Maddie Burke. And nice tap on the rebound by El Alfie out to Caitlin Chen. UConn with some pace. Sarah Strong all the way to the rim.
Strong is just so steady. Always seems to be in the right place at the right time.
2 touches, 5 points for the freshman, Sarah Strong. 25, Danae Carter. Bosco. El Alfie comes out to try and alter the shot, does so. Carter with the rebound, looking for help. Becker sees the pass coming. That'll be Villanova ball.
Now, even though El Alfie did not block it, she altered the shot. That's what a 6'5" presence can do for you in the low post.
Keys to the game today presented by Nissan.
To that point, they've got to continue their defensive intensity, make it difficult for Villanova, who is so methodical and smart offensively. It provides a huge challenge. And then, as we've talked, in a half-court set, UConn has got to be efficient.
There's Bosco, gets away off the screen, but the shot around and out, and Fudd with the rebound for UConn. This has not been an easy building for UConn the last couple of years.
or ever.
You remember those days, do you? This was a 1-point game at halftime. Villanova actually led late in the 3rd quarter when UConn played here a season ago before the Huskies pulled away late. 10 to shoot. Here's Chen. The soft touch doesn't go. El Alfie with the offensive rebound, fighting for it. And that is going to be a foul underneath. No, it traveled.
And Gino's question is, why are you dribbling the ball? Just catch it and either get rid of it or put it back up.
So 100th career game for Paige Beckers, as was talked about on pregame by Chelsea and Gary and Kara. 33 points away from 2,000 in her career, which is remarkable to think about in 100 games. So UConn's lead is 3. Here's Danae Carter, and for 2. So 1 point, UConn lead. Carter, the junior, from here in Philadelphia. Beckers, defended tough by Maddie Weber, as El Alfie gets position and gets the layup this time in the paint.
Nice confidence booster to catch that ball in traffic, getting bumped, and finish.
Good to get back with the ball going through the rim instead of the miss to keep her confidence from flagging. So here's Carter being lagged off of by the UConn defense. She'll go from the corner of the free throw line and miss. Strong sees El Alfie ahead of the pack, finds a passing lane. And another bucket in the paint for UConn.
More of the diversity of Sarah Strong, dribbling the ball on the pretty bounce pass to the 6'5" center who ran the floor well.
Bosco to power Cassidy, no. Carter with the rebound. And puts it up and in.
You know, you ask ask yourself, El Alfie had inside position. How does she not get that ball? Bad bounce, but you got to keep your hands up.
Daisy Fudd launches the three. That is short and goes out of bounds.
Paige Beckers is trying to say that ball was tipped. But watch down low here. El Alfie working hard in the low post. The good weak side help that came over. High post defense. The help came a little late on that low side. El Alfie with good poise to finish.
So UConn with the full court pressure here as Villanova inbounds the ball off the travel. Ryan Allen, 5 into the ball game for Nova. She'll stop and launch the three.
You gotta love it. Only her second made three of the season.
And only her 10th attempt. But it's a tie ball game at 9.
Good time to make it.
Yep. Here's Strong. Looking for an option.
Villanova's defense is giving UConn fits right now.
Skip pass over to Fudd, blocked. That was Power Cassidy, got a hand on the ball. And there's going to be a foul there on Fudd, who gets a little hip check into Maddie Weber at midcourt.
Villanova is tough enough and smart enough and scrappy enough to be in this ball game and has great confidence right now, and I would say momentum as well.
So first subs into the ball game for UConn as Ashlyn Shade and KK Arnold come into the ball game for the Huskies. See if Arnold can provide that same kind of energetic spark in this stretch of the game as she did on Wednesday out in Marquette.
Good active hands defensively there by Beckers to pressure the ball and steal it.
Turnovers have been a bit of a problem for Villanova this season. Strong takes the pass and puts it in.
Yeah, that was what Denise Dillon told us. They've got to take care of the basketball. They can't turn it over and give up transition buckets.
So here's Shade guarding Bosco, who is very quick, as evidence there. Beckers with the block. Bosco with the shot, back iron, and Strong with the rebound for UConn. Past midway in this opening quarter here in Philadelphia. There's Beckers for a three, and it rattles home.
To the delight of many of the kids in the crowd, yes, wearing number 5 Beckers jerseys.
Another huge throng of young people wearing those jerseys gathered around the tunnel as the players came out for warm-ups and the like.
It's insanity, actually. It's unreal. Great to see.
Yep. Here's Power Cassidy. Feeds Maddie Weber for 3. That is short. And it will be out of bounds and be UConn basketball and lead us to the first media timeout of the ball game. Beckers to Strong. And Beckers for 3. 14-9 UConn here in Philadelphia.
Go. To move from one place to another.
4 to go, quarter 1 here in Philadelphia. UConn with a 5-point lead on the home team. And our first in-game report from Chelsea Sherrod is presented by NJM. What you got, Chelsea?
Thank you so much, Alan. When I asked Paige Beckers about reaching her 100th career game at UConn, she laughed and said that she didn't even realize that she had made it to this point. She said that she hasn't been able to reflect on her career thus far, but if you know Paige, you know that she lives in a state of gratitude. She said that she's just grateful to be able to reach 100 games, given that she's missed 57 in her career. But she said in her last year at UConn, she just wants to stay present and take each game like it could be her last, Alan. But there's no question that she will take her place amongst the greats to wear a UConn jersey.
Without a doubt, Chelsea. And Paige leading UConn today on a 5-0 run here. Remember, with the assist, the steal, the block, and the 3 in that last stretch of game. Here's KK Arnold. Now Sarah Strong tries to feed Beckers. It gets knocked around. Out to Strong for 3, and it goes.
Sarah Strong just yet again showing you how good she is and how composed. Got to the right spot on that 3 after the pass didn't work. Back door to Paige.
Sorry, we played 6.5 minutes. She's got 10 points in 6.5 minutes of the first quarter. There's Allen, short on the shot, and the long rebound goes to Shade.
Terrific box out by Ashlyn Shade.
Beckers tries to get the soft touch off the glass. No. Jalea Green, 8 into the ball game for Villanova. She's handling the basketball here. Carter missed all last season with an injury. Shot clock already at 10. Beckers defending Green. Now Carter runs right into Strong. Power Cassidy steps around a flying Chen and gently drains the two. Rona Power Cassidy.
Well, you'd rather give up the two defensively. Nice move by Power Cassidy, but she's one of their best three-point shooters. And certainly consistent. Better to make her put it on the ground.
Here's KK Arnold. Driving aggressively, the spin. And the shot doesn't go, but there'll be a foul called. Well, KK, one of the nation's leaders in assist-to-turnover ratio, second best in the nation as of after yesterday's games. And what a performance she put on in her home state of Wisconsin on Wednesday.
Well, it's great when you see a young kid go back home for the second time as a sophomore and play as well as she did in front of over 100 family and friends. But she's figuring out, you know, last year she had to play because they had no one else. It was by necessity. Now she's getting in there and being aggressive, playing great defense, and she's learning when to on the offensive end, and that's the biggest difference.
Gino said that the KK that played Wednesday at Marquette was the KK they need to see every day. Aggressive at both ends of the floor. Becker's got a hand on the ball, but it will be knocked out of bounds, and it'll be Villanova basketball. So turnovers, stopping UConn's transition offense, and making the ball go through the basket. Kind of the big concerns for Denise Dillon and Villanova in this game today against UConn. Here's Bosco. She's been Big East Freshman of the Week a couple of times when it hasn't been Sarah Strong. Jada Eads of Seton Hall also in on that party, and there's the nice touch for the freshman from Milton, Ontario. UConn quickly the other way. Beckers draws 4 defenders, and Shade too strong on the corner 3.
And that's her favorite spot, that left corner. Just couldn't get it to drop.
Bosco a little too fast in the traffic. And here's Arnold, wide open on the gas, and got it.
Pretty pass, too, from Chen. That's prime UConn turning defense into offense.
So 4 points for Arnold, and UConn's lead is up to 8. Villanova trying to set its offense, which is always very disciplined, around a lot of screens, a lot of ball movement. There's Carter, defended by Strong, and still got it up off the glass and in.
What a great play there by Danae Carter. Could not have been guarded any better by Sarah Strong. Just a really good offensive play.
And that Strong defended that aggressively without fouling. Shows you just another skill she has. Here's Chen. To Shade. That one too strong. Chen taps the rebound, but it goes to Power Cassidy. Now Jalea Green for Villanova, defended by Arnold. Allen. Transfer from Vanderbilt. Now Bosco. Quick change of direction, and that doesn't go.
UConn could have been called for a bump foul there while she was in the air. Gotta love when the refs just let kids play.
So final 10 seconds of this opening quarter here in Philadelphia. Beckers steps away from the defense and drops the 2. And that will be how quarter number 1 will come to a close. Paige started today 33 points away from hitting 2,000 for her. UConn women's basketball at the XL Center on Wednesday, January 8th for their first home game of the new year. Visit ucontickets.com now and get your tickets. Come see the Huskies. Cheer on Xavier. Villanova, the opponent today, a road game for UConn, and they have an 8-point lead as we get ready to start the second quarter. Some things that you saw in that first quarter?
I think UConn is sharing the basketball really well. El Alfie doing a great job creating the space. Terrific pass. 2 in a row from Strong. 2 of her 3 assists on the day. And KK, or Chen with the terrific pass, and Beckers has got a couple assists herself. UConn has 8 assists on 9 field goals. That's a terrific way to start this game, sharing the basketball.
And the points in the paint with a 10-6 advantage for UConn. UConn shooting 56% from the floor in the opening quarter, 42%, 3 of 7 from 3. Villanova shooting 1 of 5 from 3 in the opening period and 41% from the floor, 7 of 17. So ready for the start of the second quarter. It'll be Villanova basketball. Caitlin Chen, AZ Fudd, Paige Beckers, Ashlyn Shade, and Morgan Shelley on the floor to start this second quarter for UConn. Maddie Burke, Maddie Weber, Danae Carter, Jasmine Bosco, and Jalea Green, the 5 on the floor for Villanova. Here's Weber. That's going to be a travel and a turnover. So Gino talked after the Marquette game on Wednesday about when we sub and who we sub. A big thing for us to keep working on going forward. Here's that smaller lineup again on the floor.
And this seems to be a lineup that is playing more and more together.
That was a nice pick and roll from Shelley and Beckers.
Yeah, the freshman Shelley getting meaningful minutes, has developed a nice chemistry with this group.
And playing in a position that's kind of new to her from what she did through her high school career, and playing with UConn's bigs. There's Danae Carter. That's going to be a travel on the good defense from the freshman.
So check this out. Watch here, the nice screen from Shelley, and then the roll. Lack of communication by Villanova, but that also is what Paige Beckers demands, that double team off the screen, but the smart, unselfish pass to the open Shelley.
Beckers finds Chen around and out, and a rebound just out of the hands of Shelley, grabbed by Maddie Burke. Here comes Bosco for Villanova. She is quick at the change of direction, winds up on the floor.
I think she hit her forehead on the ground.
Yeah, she is still down behind the play as UConn has the basketball, so play continues. There's Shade, drains the 3 from the corner, and the whistle now for the freshman Bosco, who's just coming back toward the Villanova bench.
So, terrific move, just came up a little short, and as she falls, she hits.
Oof.
You see her grab her forehead there.
She has taken a seat on the bench, has not gone down the tunnel.
Certainly hope she's okay. She seems to be shaking off the trainer.
Let's see if she's able to get back into the ballgame sometime soon. Here is Maddie Weber, sophomore, looking for some place. Now Maddie Burke. Shot clock into single digits. And Fudd there, and steals the ball for UConn. Drives into the paint, gets it knocked away from her.
Good defense in transition by Villanova. Not a great decision by Fudd to drive in there to nothing.
Keep an eye on number 4, Caitlin Oriole, into the ball game for Villanova, who was the most effective player scoring-wise against UConn a season ago. There's Weber with Fudd defending. Chen comes over on the double team, and the shot wildly thrown off the glass. Shade, what speed, left the shot short, and a fight for the rebound ball on the floor, and that'll be recovered by Villanova. Burke ahead to Power Cassidy, and Villanova with some numbers. There's Oriole, back iron, and Shade and Beckers both aggressively going after that rebound, collided. For 3, Shelley short. Beckers knocks the rebound. Go out of bounds off of Villanova, the UConn basketball. And good to see Jasmine Bosco back into the ball game for Villanova, along with Ryan Allen.
It's going to take more than that to keep Bosco out of this game. What a tough competitor she is.
She's the team leader in scoring, assists, steals, defensive rebounds, and minutes per game for Villanova. One of the top freshmen, not just in the Big East, in the country, really. Here's KK Arnold now. Sarah Strong also back in the ball game. The shot from Shade goes for 3.
Important for Shade's confidence. That's 2 in a row now. Missed her first 2 from the corner, made her third, and then made that first one from the wing.
She has struggled a little bit shooting the last couple of games.
but
You just got to keep shooting.
but seeing it go through the rim today for sure. Power Cassidy defended by Fudd. Nice defense by Easy. Allen will let the shot go. That's off the mark and going to be a foul on the floor as Shade and Oriole went after the rebound. The foul's going to be on UConn.
Yeah, Shade a little too aggressive with that box out. And good pursuit by Oriole.
So UConn on a 10-0 run here, and Villanova trying to find a solution. Shade knocks the inbound pass away, and Nova will get another chance. Morgan Shelley taking contact, fighting for that rebound. And is down on the sideline with UConn athletic training staff. Howard Cassidy lets it go, and it's good for 3 for the grad student from Ireland. So the 10-0 run for UConn is snapped. But Beckers finds Strong.
Perfect pass from Beckers.
That's just something that a lot of teams are going to have no answer for. Outside shot from Allen, no. And Fudd is able to grab the rebound. Here comes UConn, pushing some pace. Arnold, nice find for Strong.
What a pass from KK Arnold, so unselfish.
Timeout for Villanova. Gino Auriemma was the first one up off the bench, applauding his team's play as they came toward the bench. Fudd to Arnold to Strong, and it's 35-18, UConn's lead.
Apple Watch Series 10, all 3 on us, only on Verizon.
17-point lead for UConn, their largest of the ball game, leading to the Villanova timeout with a little over 6 to go, under 6 to go rather, in this second quarter. Como's Court Vision, brought to you by Yale New Haven Health.
Well, there's been some really good pick and roll action here by UConn. Now watch here, Sarah Strong comes over to set the screen, right? But then realizes that she's got action back here, cuts to the lane, and Paige Beckers finds her. That's a great slip by Strong. That's a veteran move there by the freshman. Paige Beckers right here, coming around. Now watch Shelley coming over to set the screen. Okay, nice contact, and then she's gonna roll. Beckers reads it well again. The double team on Beckers. The good pass to the rolling Shelley.
UConn's offense has looked really good in this game. 12 assists on 13 made field goals. They've made threes. They've scored inside. They've had the nice screen set action like you were just diagramming. It's looked good. And Villanova searching for some answers, Chelsea, huh?
Yeah, they definitely are, Alan. Head coach Denise Dillon yelling to her team, telling them, you've got to run back on defense. She said it's inexcusable. She said if you're going to be sulking because you're missing shots, it's going to be a very long afternoon. She said our #1 goal today was to slow them down in transition. They have to do a much better job at that, Alan.
All right, Chelsea, thank you. So what can Villanova come up with out of the timeout here? They've only had 2 points in the last 5+ minutes of game action. Knocked away by Strong. Nice Brady into the ball game for the first time. Here's Carter driving. And straight up with the arms by Brady. Arnold gets a hand on the ball. And that is going to be off the rim as the timer was about to expire.
Good try, Jazz. Get a stop. Get a stop.
12-3 in this second quarter for UConn. Brady. Now Arnold, shot clock at 7. Strong after the skip pass from Fudd, shot off the front rim, and Oriole gets the rebound for Villanova.
One of the more stagnant offenses for the Huskies this half. Credit Villanova's defense too.
Jasmine Bosco back into the ball game for Villanova. Here she is defended by Fudd. 10 to shoot. Carter steps back and gets the shot.
Danae Carter. 8 points to lead the way for Villanova.
Yeah, Nova needed a basket there.
So let's see what this half-court set looks like for UConn here with this particular 5 on the floor. Strong, Chen, Fudd, Arnold,
Not a lot
and
of
Brady.
movement.
Call KK for a travel and a UConn turnover. By the way, good to see Morgan Shelley has come back from the locker room area and is on the UConn bench. So there's the freshman, good to see. So a 15-point UConn lead. Is it just me, or is it seeming like it's taking Villanova a long time in the shot clock to get their action going?
Yeah, some of that is UConn's pressure defense. Some of that is, I think, some of the inexperience in the backcourt for Nova.
So that pass is knocked away and out of bounds off of Nova, and that will be UConn's basketball. Denise Dillon talking to us pregame today about just taking more time than she was comfortable with for this group to kind of find the recipe, which I think is going to become a common conversation among basketball coaches with the player movement we see these days. Gary Apple and Kara Walters have all the first half highlights and analysis on the UConn Women's Basketball Halftime Show, presented by Duncan. We are 3:25 of play away from halftime. So UConn has gone 2.5 minutes without scoring. Strong couldn't get the ball away from Burke. 5 out for Villanova, and not much moving. There's Burke, misses, and the long rebound goes to KK Arnold. Inbound to Strong, nice. That catch and quick up.
She runs the floor, she can catch on the run, finish in traffic, and the good pass from Arnold as well.
Brady knocks that pass out of bounds. 13 to shoot for Nova.
And that's the frustration of Denise Dillon, not getting back and stopping UConn on the break. Really pretty finish by Strong inside and a fabulous pass from KK Arnold.
So Brady and Chen go to the bench. Shade and Beckers back in for UConn. 10 to shoot here for Nova. Bosco is going to get fouled by Arnold as she tried to keep her from getting into the lane. So that's the first on KK.
Wow, how about that? 16 of UConn's 37 points, only 1 miss.
And the 3 assists.
And have we mentioned
rebounds.
she's a freshman?
No fouls, no turnovers. Bosco blocked by Beckers, but they'll call a foul. That's the first on Page. She get
Smart
the arms?
play.
Oh, right there.
Yeah, she got her. Good ball fake. And we all know Beckers loves to block shots. So the
here
ball
is
fake was the smartest play by the freshman.
here is Jasmine Bosco, Milton, Ontario. She has international experience with the Canadian national team program. Double-figure scoring every game but one this season. Got a couple of 20-point games. She has struggled to get the ball to the hoop today, but get some free ones there on the Beckers foul. Strong all the way from the free throw stripe, gets her own miss and gets fouled. That's going to be on Danae Carter, her first. Is Sarah Strong, context of UConn freshman, one of the better ones we've seen?
Without a doubt. I mean, there have been some great ones over the years. You think of Maya Moore, Brianna Stewart. But what this kid is doing and the way in which she's doing it, it's pretty remarkable.
Remember that Paige Beckers won National Player of the Year as a freshman.
But it's harder as a post player. It really is. The game is more physical on this level than it was in high school. And there's no other real consistent big to help her inside. She's shouldering a lot of it herself.
Wild scramble for the ball. And finally, tied up basketball will be called. It'll be UConn basketball. Paige Beckers is not happy with Kayla Maxey, the official that was standing right there, and is expressing same.
Oh yeah, the kid was holding their jersey. And I understand where Paige is coming from. Paige also got away with a foul there. And she's saying, look, my shirt got pulled out. It was tucked in.
So UConn basketball with a full 30-second shot clock, 2:06 to go in this second quarter. And Chen inbounds to Beckers, up and in.
Really good read by Beckers there. That was just a savvy basketball play and a strong finish.
Janae Carter at Beckers sees the pass coming and gets in the way.
Great defense there by Beckers, seeing the ball, getting back on that weak side to help, and then anticipating the pass and moving while the ball was in the air. That was phenomenal.
Janae Carter with 8, Brona Power Cassidy with 7. 15 of Villanova's 22 points. Here's Bosco. Defended by Chen. Shot clock now at 3. Power Cassidy throws it up and it goes. They're going to review that. John Capolino signaling to the scorer's table. Next stoppage, they'll look at that play. That is back iron and off the mark from Beckers. And here comes Carter. Fudd and Shade descend on her. So Bosco will let the shot go wide left on the 3 attempt. And now Fudd finds herself wide open for 3.
That's where AZ Fudd changes the game. Defensively, Villanova running back to stop the ball, getting into the lane, and then for UConn to knock down the 3, it's a backbreaker.
Pull-up shot doesn't go from Green. So does the ball get out of Power Cassidy's hands before that shot clock hits 0?
No. No, it doesn't. They will rule that.
That one will come off
should.
the board.
Yeah.
Beckers with the pull-up shot, no.
Beckers more aggressive offensively these last several possessions.
Gino asking Rod Creech as he comes by about a foul call. Felt like there was some contact on Paige. Bosco with a nice kick to Carter. Rattles around and goes through. So final 10 seconds of this opening half. A far cry from a year ago when UConn only led by 1 at halftime, and there's going to be a whistle and a foul in traffic. That is going to be on, I believe, Carter. That'll be her second. And Carter will exit the ball game with 7.5 seconds to go before halftime. Reading lips there, give me a break. So can UConn add to the total here in 7.5 seconds?
Great pass.
Shade, no. And it'll be Villanova's rebound. And that'll be the way the first half comes to a close. And Villanova's leading scorer held to just 1 of 10 from the floor in that opening half. We speak of Jasmine Bosco. And what's Denise Dillon thinking coming out of halftime, Chelsea?
Yeah, Alan, she said she was not happy with their transition defense. She said it's been too easy for UConn to get up and down the floor. Offensively, she said they have to do a much better job at taking care of the ball. And I asked her, I said, Coach, how do you slow down Sarah Strong? She looked at me and laughed and said, that's a great question. She said, on the perimeter, I think we did an okay job, but we have to do a much better job at repositioning ourselves under the basket. She's too athletic and she's too strong, and that's exactly what she was in the first half, Alan.
Well, she has led the way for UConn. Paige Beckers, KK Arnold, AZ Fudd finding her with passes.
And the best teams over the years for UConn, they had a lot of scores. They had a really good defense by Strong with the block shot. They need more than 1 or 2 scores. They need 3 or 4, and best case 5.
Most points allowed in the first half all season by Villanova. Starting 5 on the floor for UConn. Chen, Alalfi, Strong, Beckers, and Fudd. Shot clock at 10.
Alalfi has to continue to work in that low post.
Chen hits the side of the backboard trying to go for a layup and then collides with Danae Carter and will be called for the foul.
So the beginning of that possession, Alalfi working really hard in that low post. She catches it, she kicks it out. That's where she needs to readjust and get the ball again in that low post.
The action of UConn's bigs certainly has the block there. Something, a work in progress. Gino's talked pretty openly about that.
That's what she's got to do, and she's provided that presence on that back line, which they haven't had in a while. And that is so nice for the guards to know that there's a shot blocker on that back line.
Beckers with a hand on that pass, 18 to shoot for Nova. UConn had 1 blocked shot in the first half. They've already got 2 in the first minute of the second. So Maddie Burke to inbound the ball, one of a number of homegrowners playing for this Villanova team. 7 of the 14 on the roster are from Pennsylvania. Here's Carter. She trips over Alalfi trying to spin around. And Bosco will knock that out of bounds off of Chen.
Chen should have turned her head a 1/4 inch to the right. She would have seen Beckers cutting down the lane.
And by the way, let's just confirm, they did take the 2 points off on that shot review, so it is 43-24, the score coming out of the locker room. Beckers. No. And there's going to be a foul as Alalfi got whacked fighting for the rebound. I think that's going to be Burke, the grad student from Doylestown, Pennsylvania.
You can see 23 down there. She was grabbing
holding on the arm.
Alalfi's arm.
Yeah. Becker steps away and off the glass.
Gonna love the use of the backboard there by Beckers.
9 points, 6 assists, 3 rebounds for Paige so far, plus the block earlier. Here's Maddie Weber, cut off by Fudd.
Fudd's such a smart defender as well. She doesn't get enough credit for it.
Here's Weber, nice pass, and it goes for the sophomore from Bridgeville, Pennsylvania.
Such a smart cut there by Weber.
UConn quickly to the other end of the floor.
Good transition D by Villanova to take that transition hoop away.
Short on the shot from Strong. It's going to be her third miss in 10 attempts all day. There's Bosco. Got it.
That was a really good read by Bosco to see that Chen got tied up. She went behind the screen and launched it.
7 points for Bosco. 2 of 12 from the floor today. Beckers will take the handoff from Alalfi, and that'll be Weber who picks up the foul, trying to fight through the Alalfi screen.
Excellent run off of that screen by Beckers. That was true shoulder to shoulder to force that foul call. I don't think we see that enough with this UConn offense.
It's certainly an area they've been trying to reinforce is better use of the screens that are set for her and better screens being set. There's Chen. No. And rebound right to Bosco. So Villanova outscoring UConn 4-2 early in this third quarter. Here's Brona Power Cassidy, the transfer from Holy Cross. Hands it to Weber. That is for 3, and it goes. Weber, the leading returning scorer for Villanova from a season ago with all the roster turnover. There's Beckers with the pull-off. Got it.
That's the offensively aggressive Paige Beckers that Gino Auriemma wants to see.
So that stops a 7-0 Villanova run. And now Bosco defended here by Chen. Works the screen. And gets the shot over El Alfi.
What a smart play by the freshman. Really knows how to use the screen and run her defender into it.
There's Fudd from the corner, wide open, and answers. Six points, 2 of 4 today for Fudd, both from outside. Gino quickly after that last defensive end action for UConn, getting KK Arnold to the scorer's table to check in.
Nice job by Strong to stay on her feet.
Carter from the free throw strike, no, and it'll be Strong on the rebound. Interesting to note that UConn has used that smaller lineup a lot today. In the first half, Jenna El Alfi, oh, nice pass into Fudd, who was all alone.
Just smart moving without the ball by AZ Fudd, and the nice pass, heads-up pass from Strong.
In the first 20 minutes of the game, Jenna El Alfi only played 5, Morgan Shelley 3, and Ice Brady 3. The smaller lineup dominating the day for UConn on the court so far. There's Weber again from outside. Nice feed and nice bucket.
That was a great pass from Beckers. And once again, Strong getting to where she needs to.
So Paige Beckers just equaling her season high in assists with that helper on the Strong basket.
Knock it down.
Bosco off the screen and gets the 3 to go.
What a third quarter she is having, wow.
Had 4 points in the first half as Beckers answers the nice touch on Paige. After a kind of an off shooting day the other day in Milwaukee for Paige, she's been on it today. That's 6 of 10. And ball on the floor. And UConn's basketball. Fudd as Chen has it stripped.
What a play by Bosco.
And Strong steals it from Burke. And the feed from El Alfi. Sarah Strong, over 20 points on the game.
What hasn't she done here? She hasn't sold popcorn yet in the stands. That's next.
I hope she remembers her friends, her favorite broadcasters. Subs, Ashlyn Shade waiting to check in, and subs also at the table for Villanova. 10 to shoot. There is off the mark shot from Maddie Burke. The rebound though to Carter, working on El Alfi. The step away, no. UConn 6 for their last 6 from the floor.
Unreal catch by Strong.
El Alfi looking. She has room and gets the bucket and the foul. Bringing her teammates up off the bench in a hurry. UConn on a 6-0 run, capped by the freshman from Egypt, Jenna El Alfi. 6 points on the day for Jenna. 60-37 advantage for the Huskies. Como's court vision now. What you calling in there, Meg?
All right, now watch Paige. Paige Beckers right there. Now the screen is coming over. Paige does a really good job of using the screen, right? Her defender gets caught up. Now AZ Fudd way over here, and here's her defender, okay? Now watch, the defender comes in to help, but that's what the difference that AZ Fudd makes. You can't be that far off. And that's what makes AZ Fudd so dangerous, but Beckers commands such respect defensively. That's where your spacing has to be perfect, and UConn took advantage of that possession.
So during the timeout, the officials went back and reviewed one of the Villanova shots that was originally ruled a 2. It has been changed to a 3 for Jasmine Bosco. So your correct score line is Huskies by 23 at 60-37. And now to try and finish off the three-point play is Jenna El Alfi at the free throw strike.
Made great progress against Marquette, and I think more progress here today. El Alfi has made tough shots in that low post while being defended. As she gets a breather, she's She's one of the happiest kids in the world, but Gino loves to see the progress in that low post of scoring while getting fouled.
She can be a real difference maker for this team.
Yeah, they need her to continue to develop.
Especially with some opponents that have some serious size ahead of them coming up, like Tennessee, South Carolina. Arnold into the ball game, got a hand on the ball. 10 to shoot now. Here's Weber trying to drive between defenders. They're going to call a foul.
Good help by Shade.
The foul was on KK Arnold. That's her second. By the way, the foul on where El Alfie made the bucket and the free throw was on Danae Carter, so that's her third for Villanova. She is on the bench at this point. What a second half so far for Bosco. Here she is working on Beckers. Nice ball moving around to Weber. Shot is errant, and a fight for the rebound, and they're going to call a foul on Jalea Green.
What a heads-up play by Ashlyn Shade. I mean, just ever the smart basketball player was boxing out, knew she couldn't get the ball, but she kept her defender from getting it, tapped the ball to her teammate, and drew the foul.
Shade on the floor with Beckers, Chen, Strong, and Arnold. There's Beckers for 2. They're signaling. That is a 2 for Paige. That's going to put her to 16 points. Well, they put it into the scoring as a 3. I thought I saw Rod Cruz signal 2 on that. So they'll adjust that score as well. UConn on a 9-0 run here. Here's Weber. Shade actively defending. Shot clock running out. The one-handed throw misses everything right into the hands of Sarah Strong. Oh, look at the 2-player game. They're going to be a foul. They're going to call a foul on Strong.
Heads-up play there by Allen. Definitely a 2. Her right foot over the line.
That looks like to me has been adjusted on the scoreboard. Is Paige at 15 points now. And Sarah Strong will go to the bench after committing the rare foul for her. Good to see Morgan Shelley back on the floor. Remember, she had some contact on the floor and went down the tunnel for a little bit earlier in the ball game. Allie Zabel at the scorer's table waiting to check in for the first time. Carter drives on Shelley and missed the shot. Whoa. That was not good. That was Bosco diving for the ball and rolling up Becker's leg. And Paige is on the floor. Hopefully just a momentary scare, but obviously the teammates gathered around and this building is so quiet you could hear a pin drop. So Janelle Francisco will follow Paige, who will go down the tunnel toward the locker room. And with 1:17 to go in this third quarter, we will hope for the best. So timeout called on the floor. They're going to go have a look at the monitor. That left leg pinned under Bosco as the 2 players went to fight for the loose ball.
Basketball fans, you want to drive a winner? Get behind the wheel of a Toyota and see for yourself how impressive they truly are. Come and join the winning squad. Visit Toyota.com to learn more.
Yeah, you see the leg got caught up.
Yeah. Let's go Wildcats. The Villanova University Alumni Association here to support you wherever life takes you.
Right there.
Come together at events, connect for groups and networks, develop your career.
Villanova over the limit in this third quarter.
So the freshman from Neenah, Wisconsin, who gave the fans a cheer. And here's something that hopefully will make UConn fans feel a lot better. Paige Bueckers out of the tunnel and back to the bench. We'll see what we can find out on her status, obviously, for you as soon as we can. But for now, it is into the final minute of this third quarter. Shade, Chen, Arnold, Zabel, and Chelly, the 5 on the floor for UConn. And the Huskies now, after watching that, needing to regroup on the floor and refocus.
Yeah, this is where you need leadership and mental toughness. You got to keep playing the game. You know, they've been through injuries over the years, but there's a lot of new players on this team who aren't accustomed to it.
Arnold uses the Chelly screen and goes right to the rim.
And that's what Gino Auriemma talked about after that Marquette game. That's what they need from KK Arnold.
So you see Janelle Francisco there applying a big bag of ice to Paige Bueckers' left leg. As Danae Carter works in the paint on Morgan Chelly. Missed the shot. Here's Weber for 3 over the top of Zabel. Strong bounce off the back rim. And a rebound went, I believe that was Shade who picked up the rebound. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Chen. And missed the shot. And Chelly couldn't put it up and in to cap off the quarter. But the story of this third quarter on this Sunday in Philadelphia is none other than that player, Paige Bueckers, who went down with 1:17 to go in the period.
Today is definitely colder.
This was the hardest thing I've ever done.
Our survivalists are playing a game out there and trying to survive. We are playing a game in here. This is giving me anxiety.
Your loved one's fate is in your hands. I'm terrified.
I just want to go home.
I'm not hitting the button.
Press the button.
Extracted. Series premiere Monday, February 10th on Fox.
Wings and pizza here.
You mean pizza and wings?
16 boneless wings, 1 pizza, wings and pizza.
It's stuffed crust pizza. Pizza is the lead.
Wings and pizza. Guys,
get a large 1-topping stuffed crust pizza and 16 boneless wings starting at $19.99. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
With my UC, symptoms like bowel urgency have always weighed on me. How far? What if I have to go now? Should I stay back? I wanted to move onward, so I asked my doctor about Omvo. Onward with Omvo! Less UC symptoms means less holding me back. People taking Omvo achieved rapid symptom relief, lasting remission, and improved bowel urgency. Don't use if allergic to Omvo. Serious allergic reactions can occur. Stop and get medical help right away if you have an allergic reaction. Omvo may increase your risk of infections and lower your ability to fight them. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, symptoms of an infection, or if you had a vaccine or plan to. Before treatment, your doctor will screen for tuberculosis. Omvo may cause liver problems. Ask your doctor to learn more. Less disruptive symptoms, less holding you back. Onward with Omvo!
Ever since I tried Hidden Valley Ranch, I finally found what I've been looking for.
Oh my gosh.
I know. How is this stuff so good?
Hidden Valley Ranch.
Only serious about flavor.
Our next UConn game on SNY is Wednesday night from Hartford as the Huskies take on Xavier at the XL Center. Coverage starts with the pregame show at 7 o'clock Wednesday night. And our game reset presented by your local New England Honda dealers. Right from the jump today, Sarah Strong has been the star of this ball game for UConn.
I mean, she just continues to impress with her poise and her all-around game.
And concern on a lot of faces around here wearing those national flag blue jerseys. But again, we'll hope for the best and we'll see what kind of news we get when we're able to get it. Meantime, here's Bosco with now 10 to shoot for the Wildcats, defended by Arnold. Trying to make some space for herself, gets between defenders and missed the shot. Here's Shade to a running Arnold all the way to the rim.
Vintage KK Arnold and a smart pass from Shade.
KK perfect from the floor in this one, 3 of 3, 8 points, got a couple of assists, and has played some really solid defense as well, a lot of energy. I think you have to be pleased with the fact that repeatedly today we've seen Arnold go right for the rim aggressively. That's going to be a foul on Chelly, her second. Taking the rim, presented by Duncan. Here we go.
Great aggressive take by KK Arnold. Smartly reading the defense.
Now KK bringing the energy and bringing it at full speed today for UConn at both ends of the floor. Ice Brady back into the ball game as Morgan Chelly will take a seat after picking up her second foul. Carter, shot altered there by Brady. Rebound gotten by Allen, who goes strong up and will draw the foul. I believe that's going to be on Brady, her first. So UConn with more than 20 points in each quarter of this game so far. Season high for UConn, of course, was that absurd offensive explosion against Iowa State when they put 101 on the board. And here's Ryan Allen, junior from Pennsylvania, shooting free throws, transfer in from Vanderbilt. We saw that ankle caught underneath the Villanova player as well, so a nice bag there for Page also. Hopeful. We're hopeful. Arnold, nice feed. Missed the shot, gets the rebound, and it's knocked out of bounds, and it's going to be a foul called. It's on Bosco. That'll be her second. So UConn will have a 20-second shot clock to work with here on a new set. Huskies by 30 points at this point in this one. 31 has been the largest lead of the game so far. Here's Brady.
Execution is critical here for UConn.
Nice.
For confidence sake, that's a big play for Ice Brady.
Strong move to the rim for Brady. She gets on the board for the first time today. And here is Danae Carter handling the ball for Nova. The kick out to Allen, lets the three fly, no. Nice box out there for the rebound by Brady. Zabel feeds Brady, nice touch shot, rattles around, but it goes. Remember, Gino talked after the game in Wisconsin on Wednesday about how Zabel is completely in control of how much of an explosive scorer she wants to be because she's got to be more aggressive. Bosco rebounds the miss, steps out, that's a 2, doesn't go. Allen will collect the ball for Nova. Third chance opportunity here. Cadence Samuels at the scorer's table waiting to check in for UConn. Bosco tries to throw it up off the glass with the timer running out, and it doesn't go. And no foul either.
Yeah, well defended there by UConn.
How about this? UConn has 40 points in the paint today. Villanova has 38 total points. Arnold takes the pass from Brady, but ran into traffic and was off balance. That's a turnover.
That was a tough play. Brady's got to see the weak side help there and not throw that pass.
There's Allen, drops the three. So Allen, after having only made one three-pointer all season to this point, has a couple of them today. Shade aggressively to the rim.
UConn has made a lot of really good decisions today, reading the defense and choosing and knowing when to drive and when to pull up.
Huskies shooting 58% from the floor today. 39% from three, holding Villanova to 29% from the floor as Chen rebounds the miss and gets fouled. Looked like a frustration foul on the part of Allen.
So halfway through this fourth quarter here at Villanova today, Caden Samuels comes into the ballgame for the first time. And so it'll be Samuels, Zabel, Shade, Brady, and Arnold, the 5 on the floor for UConn, waiting while a shoe is tied to inbound the ball. And here we go. Leading scorer on the day for Villanova is Bosco with 12. Carter has 10. Arnold again. All the way to the rim. KK Arnold into double figures today for UConn.
Love the strong finish, too, while getting bumped.
Jenna El Alfie at the scores table waiting to check back in for UConn. Here's Burke, lets it fly, and that goes for 3. The three-pointers were not going for the first 3 quarters of this game for Villanova, but they've come alive with that in this fourth quarter. Now 7 made threes for the Wildcats. Here's Caden Samuels, her first touch over the top of Zabel. Arnold retrieves. And let's go to 3. Yes, it goes for KK!
Boy, what a difference it would make for this kid and this team if she consistently knocked down threes.
Was it just a trip home that sparked this confidence? Because
something.
Double figures the other day, double figures today.
These are the trends you want to get into.
Got a hand on the ball there.
Just build off the good and keep adding to it.
Here Julia Green takes it all the way to the rim. It was stolen by Arnold, who then gets fouled hard. Ryan Allen landing on top of Arnold, who is still down on the floor, but getting up now. And
Sarah Strong in that low post. But the perfect pass and then the great catch and finish by Strong. 21 points on the afternoon for the freshman sensation, and KK Arnold with 2 assists. UConn, 29 assists on 33 field goals.
That's awesome.
They shared the ball really well today.
Husky lead 35. Jana El Alfie back into the ball game with Ice Brady, KK Arnold, Caden Samuels, and Ali Zabel. Caden's cut off by Power Cassidy, and so Brady will reset out to Arnold. Shot clock at 6. Arnold got the roll.
That's just pure confidence there, that take.
Season high in scoring for KK Arnold, 15 points today. Howard Cassidy defended by Samuel. That's Allen from the corner. That rattles around and out. Villanova in the first half was 2 of 12 from 3. They're 5 of now 12 in the second half. Here's a bell. And it goes with the left-hand flip.
UConn's done a much better job this afternoon executing half-court offense.
Here's one of the things we talked about at the beginning of the game, right? Executing the half-court offense. As that goes for Maddie Burke, a grad student from Doylestown, Pennsylvania. One of the experienced leaders of this Villanova team. Playing her 141st collegiate game today. Gary Apple and Kara Walters coming up with a full recap of today's game on the UConn Women's Basketball post-game show. It's presented by your local New England Honda dealers immediately after the game. So 2:02 to go here, and you know, as we look ahead to the Huskies' next game, which is Wednesday night at home against Xavier, obviously the big story between now and then will be the health of Paige Beckers.
Yeah, that really awkward collision here in the second half. The ice on the knee and the ankle. We'll have to wait to hear what they have to say.
Nice right-hand flip from Danny Cesaretti from Barrington, Rhode Island. Hometown of my dad, ironically enough.
Here's Samuels. Doesn't take the shot.
El Alfie was wide open in that low post. They've got to remember to look.
There's Brady, top of the key, wide left. Ball swatted around. Samuels is going to come up with the rebound. Nice effort.
That was all effort by Samuels.
Arnold tried to feed El Alfie, but a hand on the ball in the traffic. And Arnold using her speed to come back and steal that pass.
Terrific hustle by KK Arnold. And Allie Zabel in the right place at the right time to run down that ball.
And Gino telling KK Arnold just run down some time. Got a foul called underneath. That is going to be where Channel El Alfie was battling in traffic. Today's player of the game, presented by your local Hyundai dealers, is Sarah Strong. Look at the score line for the freshman today.
I mean, she does absolutely everything on the floor.
And really, when you go back and look at some of the highlights of this game, the plays, just some of the passes, right, from Beckers into to Strong, and the hands, the catches, the layups, and so on. It really was pretty basketball for Sarah Strong with her teammates for most of this ball game. So 13.2 to go to wind it up here in Philadelphia before this sellout crowd. The Huskies are going to run their record against their longtime Big East competitor to 45-18, move the record to 13-2 on the season, and remain undefeated in Big East play. Villanova is going to fall to 7-8 on the season and 1-2 in the conference. As Maddie Burton throws in a three at the end and just shrugs her shoulders back at the crowd like, yeah, where's that been for a lot of the game?